Let's go, you guys. Let's go. 3-1 win against Man United in the FA Cup semi-final. We're through to the final, you guys. The first season for Frank Lampard managing this club, and he's taken us to our first final. We have the opportunity here to get our first piece of silverware under his management. And you know what? Massive credit today goes to Frank Lampard. I've been saying for a very long time, the guy is a tactician. He is a tactician. How many times, especially in the big games, does Lampard find clever solutions to help us get the advantage against our opposition? Time and time and time again. The 3-4-3 today, or more accurately, the 3-4-2-1, absolutely inspired today. I mean, this was the main reason why we comfortably dominated against Man United. And I'm not exaggerating by saying that. We comfortably dominated in the game today. They did absolutely zero anything on goal, barely any shots on target. The only times they were able to even get opportunities in the first place came down to us making mistakes. For example, giving away free kicks, and of course Callum giving away that sloppy penalty right at the end. If it wasn't for those opportunities, United would have created zero anything from open play. And absolute testament to Lampard, the coaches behind the club, and of course the players, because the main reason why we won today is because of the application and the pressing from the team from the top to the bottom. Wow, Olivier Giroud today, I mean, this guy definitely rolled back the years. He was playing like he was like 26 years old. He was pressing non-stop, closing down those passing channels. Oh, the guy had Harry Maguire in his pocket. Maguire could do absolutely nothing against Giroud, who just physically outclassed in this entire game, and Maguire was looking like a sad puppy on the field. Honestly, he didn't know what the hell he was doing at all today. Sloppy passes, and we can't forget he cost £80 million, and he was just absolutely outclassed today by Giroud. Exceptional performance, and the main reason for this win, as I'm trying to allude to, as I'm trying to get to, I'm just so excited off the win, you guys, because I recorded this straight after the game. It comes down to Lampard, the philosophy, and the application that he wants from the team. He said time and time again he wants hard work. Hard work, hard work, hard work. He was starting to sound a bit like Conte at times. Let's keep things real. Today's performance was a complete testament to Lampard's coaching and how he's got this team hungry and pressing from the front foot, because when it comes to pressing and, winning the ball back in the opposition half, we're one of the best teams in the country at doing that. United were absolutely swarmed throughout the entire game, and you know what? I think this is probably an interesting time to discuss tactics a tiny bit, because you might be wondering, Nini, how exactly did the 3-4-3 really aid us and help us in getting this massive win over United today? I'm now going to list off briefly some of the key tactical aspects from the game today, starting with our back three. And the main advantage we got tactically was that it allowed our three defenders to go man v man against Man United attacking players. And this meant that time and time again, when United's attacking players tried to receive the balls in those dangerous areas between the lines and the half spaces, they were consistently outmanned every single time. There was support from the wing back, there was support from the midfield player, and there was extra support from one of the defenders, obviously leaving his defensive line and pushing further up into midfield. So in that sense, United really struggled to build anything from out wide. They were consistently a man short in those wide areas, and we completely took advantage of our new dominance in these areas. I mean, there were times where I was seeing Azpilicueta constantly bombing forward, and it was his amazing top quality cross that produced the first goal. And I'm going to touch on Azpi very briefly, but wow. Since this restart, he's become a completely different player, a complete transformation. He now has an attacking threat. He's now consistently bringing that attacking threat. And since this restart, I think that's another assist for him now. Countless assists, and I feel like his crossing game is completely different. I feel like now, maybe he's been working on things behind the scenes. Maybe he's been working with the coaches to find more effective ways and more effective crossing techniques to use in certain areas. But wow, Azpi, this restart, it's kind of reminding me of like how Conte used him as that secret weapon to break teams down when he used to make those late man runs into midfield. So again, top performance from him. But getting back to the tactics and the main advantages we got today. And this moves on very nicely to Mason Mount and Willian, because these two players today played an amazingly effective part and an effective role in helping us get today's win. Now, the main reason for this was that whenever we were off the ball defending and keeping our shape, We saw Willian and Mason Mount tucking into midfield, creating 4 in midfield. Now, when you consider that we have a back 5 where basically the wing backs are essentially 3 men. If United players are in the half space or out wide, because that is the prime area in which United are very devastating. Now, you constantly see Rashford and Martial and Greenwood drifting into those half spaces, receiving the ball in those areas and kickstarting attacks. But today, there was zero outlet for this type of ball today, and that was because the wing back was constantly able to leave their position and close them down too. And when you consider the amount of support we had from Mason and Willian tucking into midfield too, just giving us that extra protective layer, this honestly worked 10 out of 10. This was literally a perfect performance because United couldn't create a single thing whatsoever. It was complete dominance. We were so comfortable throughout this entire game today, and it just gets you thinking about the future because wow. When you consider that Ziyech and Werner, they are guys. We just need to wait to see them play. And when you think about the big business we're still planning to do and get done and get sorted and get completed, as Lampard has consistently proved this season, he knows how to get those results against the big boys in this country. Now, to continue on with the tactics talk, we move on to Olivier Giroud, who played a crucial role. Now, today he had to set the precedent with his pressing. He had to become that first player to kickstart the press every single time. And today, as I was mentioning earlier, he completely did Maguire. But it was the intelligence in which Giroud was playing throughout the entire game today. He was constantly drifting deeper. Maguire never knew whether to follow him or stay back in his position, and it created this uncertainty that Maguire constantly played with throughout the entire game. When Giroud was able to win those first balls, you'd normally see a Mason Mount or Willian being the first players to receive from his layoffs as well, and this allowed us to stop Man United playing out from midfield. We stopped those passes into midfield, and this is why players like Maguire were constantly giving the ball away time and time again. This was really a super easy win today against a Man United team that we deservedly beat and deservedly dominated. The second half starts, and automatically, the game's basically sealed off, done and dusted. We had basically won the game. Mason Mount makes it 2-0. Terrible goalkeeping from De Gea, but credit goes to Mason Mount because he kind of created this slice effect with his shot, which is making the ball go to the right hand side, and I think that kind of surprised De Gea, who thought the ball was coming straight towards him. So due to that great shot technique, it forced that mistake in my personal opinion. Great thinking by Mason Mount, and if you're asking me, we deserve this. This felt like divine intervention because in all our encounters against Man United throughout the season, they've constantly profited from our misfortune. We've made mistakes time and time again, and I've always felt like United haven't even been that great in most of these games. So this felt like a long time coming. This felt like just desserts easily because we've consistently been the better footballing team playing in these games. Due to the manner in which we were playing, it felt like there was more confidence in the team. They felt more inspired, and this was reflected in Rudiger making it 3-0 and just making this game a laughingstock in that sense. So, of course, unfortunately, we couldn't get that clean sheet that I think this performance definitely deserved. Callum coming on being quite sloppy, I'm going to let him off because I think overall he was quite decent with his use of the ball. But I think today just sums up why we have to have more faith in our team, because I seem to remember that there was quite a lot of discourse and discussion about potentially sacrificing this game today to make room and space for that game against Liverpool, because I guess, getting that top 4 finish is the thing we need, and that's obviously because getting the top 4 finish is the most important thing needed at this point in time. But, I do want to say here, we need to remember there's standards we need to have as fans. There are standards that we need to keep and need to have. But Chelsea fans, how many times throughout our history have we been in games like this where, some see us as the underdog, and yet we blow away all those expectations? So I'm just going to say, of course, we're fans of a great club. We need to have more ambition for these guys because today, everyone had something to prove. I mean, there was countless top-class performances from players like Reece James playing right back. I thought he was excellent today. Brandon Williams, in comparison, looked like he was still an academy player in that sense. Reece basically scored him the entire game. He was so important to help us move that ball into midfield. He was important for receiving those goal kicks from Caballero out wide in those areas too. And, it's a top-quality player. And, I can go on. Mateo Kovacic, wow. I mean, what a genius performance. This was effortless. This is where Kovacic is at his prime. Playing that Frankie de Jong role, beating the press at ease, his close control, his skill, his imagination, his vision. Wow, I mean, this guy's a serious player, and you know, United just couldn't get close to him whatsoever. Fred Matic will absolutely overrun the entire game, and our midfield of Korver and Jorginho absolutely ran things in midfield today. So, wow, unreal performance, unreal management from Frank Lampard. You know, this guy is a serious manager. You know, Lampard's proven today that he is the right guy for us. He knows how to get us that advantage in the big games where it matters, and I think that's always the area in which you can judge a manager by his skill level. So testament to Frank, his methods are clearly working. This was an inspired win against Man United, and you know, it paints an even positive picture for the future. Let's hope now that we have this London final against Arsenal, we can get our first silverware of the season against Arsenal, where we've been quite good against them in my opinion. There's a real possibility now that we could get this win and could beat them. So let's hope that we get a strong performance against Liverpool. I feel positive. I feel like maybe Liverpool might not even play their strongest team. Don't hold me to that. Let's just see what happens, you guys. But anyway, you guys, it's been an unreal day of football for everyone at this club. The manager, the players, the application was fully there. Honestly, so proud today. Deservedly through to the final. And on that note, you guys, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'm EFC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with the player ratings video straight after this video. Peace.